Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, large and in charge of my one and only self, taking myself up off the shelf to find my greatest eternal wealth. You got to do the same for yourself. You know what time it is. Grunt speak. Speak, Grunt. Well, we come through and we speak and we speak to you and you speak to us too. That's what we hoping that you do. That's what we are looking for you to do. And hopefully some of the things that we say or some of the things that we read or some of the things that you see in the chat will help you do just that. Speak about what you're going through, speak about what you're growing through, and speak about how you use some of the tools to help you overcome who you used to be or didn't want to be or help you set yourself free. So that's what we do. We grunts and we speak. So speak, Grunt. So 11B, 11 Charlie, and I believe Christian Dykes told me 11 Alpha 2 for the Officer Infantry Blue. That's what they do, 11 Alpha 2. And my 0311 from the Marine Corps. I can't forget y'all. And anybody else you know I forget about sometimes. Get on here, speak, Grunt, and speak your mind. Well, it's just me today. No Whiskey Charlie. He's happened to be at work today, and it's going to be a late one for him today. So I figured I had to come on here to stay consistent anyway, right? So y'all just got me tonight. So I'm looking forward to you getting down in the chat and do what we do. Let's go back and forth, and we'll make this time go by real quick, see? Excuse me. So if you're down there in the chat, make sure you start to comment down below. Click down there and share this video. Let all your grunt brothers know. Let all your friends know. Let their family know. Yo, we doing the show. Even though we down one, the show must go on today. And I really just got a few things that I want to do with you today. I got a few questions I want to ask you today. And maybe you can't answer them all today. And that's okay, but it's something to think about, something to write down, something to help you set your life in a different way, or something to help you stay on track with where you already at, where you looking to go today. So I just have a few questions for you, and I want to hear what you have to say and what you think, what you feel. If you got something in the chat, let me know that. I just want to make sure. Let me test out the chat and see if you can see me because I don't want to miss nobody. Hello. Hit me with a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a hello or a goodbye in the chat if you could see that. And I just want to make sure I can read that back because I'm continuing to go back and forth with you. I don't want to miss nobody. So y'all know what time it is, man. Even though we don't have no Whiskey Charlie, I still need you to do one thing for me. That 1 minute win, that 1 minute war that you happen to see this week. Hey, what's going on, Enoch? How's your little vacation treating you? You still out of town, right, brother? But it's time for that 1 minute win, 1 minute war. So what you can do for me is you can drop it down in the chat right there, and I can read it to the community. And I'll drop one for you too, because that's what we do before we get into this topic that I have for you. So 1 minute win, 1 minute war. What am I struggling with? What am I battling with today? What war? What's in front of me? What obstacle is in my way? You know, to be honest, I can gratefully say I can't really think of a war that I had today. So if I have a war that I have to share with you, it's actually struggling to remind myself to do what I say I want to do. To not be a hypocritical person and just speak to you and say what you should do, but take my own advice too. So my war would be for me is just to make sure I hold myself responsible for the outcome that my life determines to see. So that would be the war for me, making sure that I continue to do what I say to do. But the win for me would be not having the war today, because that must mean I see my life in a grateful way. I knew that everything was going to be okay. I wasn't complaining today. I wasn't worried today. I wasn't too much stressed about what anybody else had to say today. So the win for me is not letting the small obstacles get in my way and feeling like I had to struggle with a war today. So what's your 1 minute win and your war for you? I'm going to drop down in the chat and see what y'all up to. Ha ha, I'm home. That's it. That's all we up to. Ain't nobody got no wins or no wars. No stress. Agreed. That's what's up, McGinnis. Oh, that's what's up. Enoch, you at the house already, man? It seemed like you got home early, brother. I thought you was going to be gone for the whole week. No stress. Yes, no stress is a good thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's very relaxing. It's freeing. So, as I give y'all another minute or two to see what y'all gonna do, if anybody gonna get down in the chat and give me a 1 minute win or a 1 minute war for me, I'm gonna look over these questions real quick, take a sip of water, and we gonna get moving forward, G. Shout out to Whiskey Charlie out there at work today doing what he got to do. I know he'll tune in later. He'll probably be rushing home to see if we still on, but it'll be late at night. So make sure y'all give a shout out to Whiskey Charlie. And I know, I cannot forget, and I must do this. I have things that I could let me become stressed. I'm choosing not to allow it to. That's what's up again. It's the same thing I was saying to you two earlier. It's things that happen, but I can't see no war in my life today. So choose not let things that have you stressed. That's the best way to be. But something that I almost forgot that I wasn't going to forget because, man, people would have crucified me or I would have crucified me. So today is that unfortunate time where it always comes back to my mind where we lost one of our fellow brothers, Schilling, 15 years ago. I want to say around to this day. McGinnis can correct me on the exact day. I know I get the day mixed up. I just know it was right before Thanksgiving, a week before. But according to what I've been looking at on my Facebook, today is the day. So I want to say big shout out to Brad Schilling. Rest in peace and love to his family and all my hooligan brothers out there. I know this is a tough time for you, and this is a tough time for all of us too. But just know this, we can continue to make it through. And the holidays is something interesting too. And shout out to my little cousin who we just happened to lose, a week before the holidays too. So shout out to my cousin Monisa. Just want to say I love you and blessings to you and your family and blessings to my auntie. But the holidays, man, it's seeming to become a difficult time. Death is happening closely, but hey, man, it's something that we all go through, right? It's something that we all go through. And this wasn't a question that I had, but I'm pretty sure it will lead the show in the way. And, it'll be some things that people have to say. And I'll just start off the show with this first question today. Being at the holiday time, how do you deal with the unfortunate, losses that sometimes creep into your mind? Because a lot of times throughout the year, we can be okay. But when the holiday comes around, we start to remember those people that we forgot about or we didn't talk about so much the other day. So how do you deal with your emotions in your mind during the holiday time? Okay, ain't nothing in the chat. So I just wait right back and I just look at myself while I'm waiting to see what pop up with you. And I tell you what I like to do. I think for me, since the holidays almost sometimes are just another day, it's some that almost happen and repeated in an automatic way, especially when it comes to Thanksgiving and Christmas and the things that we eat too. So it's become a little bit oversaturated for me. I don't know about you. I'm not a Scrooge or anything like that, but it's the older I get, the more, I take a step back and I really evaluate what the holidays is, because I feel like every day should be celebrated as a holiday, especially with our loved ones too. But specifically for me, the holidays makes me think about the time really when we lost soldiers in Iraq, because before that it was just another day. Something we celebrated, somewhere we went to go eat and to get with family and those things that we should do on a regular basis. But how I'm able to get through, this time when I think about the soldiers that we lost or people who lost loved ones, period. How I'm able to get through is I know that it's something else that I'm called to do. So instead of, speaking or talking doom and gloom, I'm attempting to speak life into you and to speak life into me too, to be grateful for the holiday, but to celebrate every day like it's a holiday or a holy day, because that's what it is and that's what it should be. So some families and some people are having tougher struggles too, but I want to know what works for you. How do you help yourself get through the holiday times when you're having someone on your mind that maybe you haven't even seen them in a while. Maybe they're still alive, but you haven't seen them in a while, whatever the case may be. Maybe it's not the same person that you used to see. Maybe they struggle or they suffer with PTSD, like seriously. So the holiday time, they're not really able to be free. How do you deal with those things emotionally? I mean, I have things. Okay, well, that's the same thing. How do you deal with those things emotionally? And what have you found a good practice to help you get through? It's like I said, for me, I have to face those things that I've go through. You know, death is a real thing. So I respect that too. And just because it's the holiday mean that doesn't mean that it's going to be something different for me, because I look at the holiday again like any other day. So when I think about the death, it's just like there's no time to deal with that. Just the holidays make it more of a reminder, because that's the time when family's supposed to really come together, connect, and love and show one another love. And that's the time where we forget about those people that were so close to us that's gone. But I dare you to figure out a way to carry those individuals with you as you move on. But you carry their spirit in a beautiful way, in a peaceful way, in a happy way. You think about some of the things that they were able to say to make you laugh and have you have joy in some way, because that's what the holiday is really supposed to be like, I guess, right? Joy and peace, not too much stress. So when you think about the people that you lost, when I think about a guy like Schilling, who I didn't know that well, I just remember he always had this smile on his face, or some people say a shitty grin, and he just seemed to be pretty cool and a humble, dear friend to a lot of people. So when I think about my cousin Monisa now, I think about all the time she called me, "Hey, Blackie," and I would call her Little Ugly, and she would just be smiling and we'd laugh. She gave the best hug. So the holidays times can be a rough time, but if you free and relax your mind and you talk about those things that's bothering you and you step into that, then you can celebrate your holiday as a holy day too. I drink. Yeah, I used to do that too, but I had a little too many drinks, and they would just get the best of me. And then I stopped feeling like waking up hungover. So usually when I drink back in the day, I would overdrink. I don't want to say I overdrink. I just drunk. Like I didn't know my limit. I was just enjoying myself. I was always like, I could have another one. I could have another one. And I would have a lot of other ones and other ones. And for me, usually when I would drink, it was either two things you would see. I was either violent or super funny me, and depending on who you ask, what they see would be different. For me, I always thought I was super funny me. But yeah, I used to drink too. And then when I got into weed smoking, that's what I would do. So I think that was more relaxing and for me than drinking, but it made me want to eat more. So walking actually worked for me too. But you know, the best thing for me that I'm able to do is just to face those feelings that I'm having to be true. So what do I mean by that? When those times come around when it's bothering me, if I want to scream at God, I want to fuss and cuss at God, and I want to shout and I want to kick and I want to scream, then that's exactly what I do. And I ride that wave for as long as I need to. And when I'm out of that wave, if I need to shed some tears or if I need to find something funny, if I need to laugh, then I do that too. But I allow myself to ride the wave and the emotion of my man so I'm able to get through, because I found out and I realized that when I pin it up and bottle it up, it really just destroy you. That's what it does. So yeah, me too. You're so funny. Hey man, I'm just honest. That's what I would do, man. Those are the things I would do. When I was drinking, it was either angry or silly. When if or when I'm smoking, it's just usually laid back and I feel like I'm halfway getting too fat because I'm eating too much. So I have to find other things for me. I like to go on walks and call myself working out, but allowing myself to face those emotions and making my way through. So the holiday time is coming up next week, in the next couple of months. I want you to do something that maybe you've never had to do. Ask yourself, how am I going to get through? What am I going to do to be able to make it through the holidays successfully and not allowing those days to get the best of me? And eventually we can get to doing this every day. Certain affirmations, or as I learned the other day, inclinations, or things that you could say that prepare you to set yourself up for a successful day every day. But right now, I just want you to focus on a holiday next week. So ask yourself that simple question: what can I do to bring myself some peace? Write that question down for you. I'm going to actually write it down too. What can or will I do to ensure I have peace on the holiday? So that's the question I need you to ask for you. What can or will I do to ensure I have peace on the holiday? Now, I just talked about some of the things that come around our way on the holiday, and we definitely think about the death that was on our plate, that was on our shoulders, that was put in for our face, like things that we had to deal with during the holiday. But the holiday is supposed to be a joyous time where you free and relax your mind. So if you never thought about before, I want you to think about it today and ask yourself that question today. What can or will I do to ensure I have peace on the holiday? Answer that question for yourself within the next 48 to 72 hours, and I guarantee your holiday going to be okay because you're going to be focused that way. So let's see what else I got to say for you. Have you allowed your diagnosis to cripple you? Have you allowed your diagnosis to cripple you? What do I mean by that? So for me, let me share with you. When I was told that I had PTSD, or and I would start to claim that I had PTSD, and I had a fear of other people driving me, not driving me crazy, but driving me around. You know, it didn't matter if the window was up, if the window was down. I had this little panic that came over me, and my hands would start to sweat lightly, you know. And it was all because of the rollover accident that I had been in. And I walked away, me and all my friends, and we were good to go. But somewhere down the line, what a thought was introduced into my mind that I had PTSD because of the rollover accident that happened to me. It was something that I clinged to and it bothered me. I'm talking about the diagnosis for me was something that I made a part of my reality. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of these things that happen to you can bother you too, but I don't know if they have to stay with you for as long as they do. Because a lot of times they keep repeating the thing to you and they're not helping you to get over or face what you've been going through, right? So for me, I had a fear of other people driving me around because of the rollover accident I was in. No fault to my driver. But in order for me to get over that, I had to let people drive me around. Now, I ain't saying you got to go get in the shootouts to get over shootouts, but what I'm saying is you have to put yourself in uncomfortable positions and go around where other people are at so you can break that diagnosis from way back. Because if you continue to carry PTSD, if you continue to carry loud noise and scared of being around crowds and to being around your being real with your intimate family, then the PTSD gonna keep you from growing to being the ultimate soldier, man, woman, father or mother or daughter or son that you can be. So the question is, what diagnosis have you allowed to cripple you? I let PTSD diagnosis cripple me based on somebody else driving me around because of rollover accident that happened to me. But when I told myself, hey man, you drive yourself around and you can't control that too. So it's okay for you to trust the other individual's life who's driving you. It's okay for you to trust the God who's driving you, who's leading you, who's guiding you. You don't have to continue to carry what you've been through. You don't have to let that diagnosis delay you from what you called to. That diagnosis is just an attempt to treat you. That's all they're attempting to do. Guess what? You give them the symptoms of your diagnosis too. So if you can give them the symptom of your diagnosis, you probably know how to heal you. I had a problem with people driving me around. Why? Because I didn't feel like I had control. But I let control go when I let other people drive, and it started to free me. Whew. Let me see if somebody had to say for me. That hypersensitive shit stuck around for a long time. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. You hear, I still walk through the house at night, you know, like I'm on a security perimeter check. And I know that I'm finally getting to a place where I'm able to calm down and relax, because my wife and my kids, I won't say can sneak up on me, but they can sneak up on me. They can walk up on me without me even knowing, to be standing directly behind me. And there was a point in time that wouldn't happen for me because I was always hypersensitive. Seriously, I wouldn't allow myself to be comfortable with my own family. But then it hit me, the diagnosis of PTSD, the fear of people being too close to me or startling me or make me jump or feel like I'm on a defense all the time, even with my family. I realized that has left me. That has left me. So the diagnosis that crippled me, I was able to set myself free by facing the diagnosis that was given to me. Besides, you have to tell a doctor what's going on with you. That's why it's called triage. They need to know what they can and cannot do. So I asked yourself today, what's going on with me that I'm able to let go today? What's going on with me that if I let it go, it'll change my life in a different way? What's going on with me that's stopping me from being what I see and what I know I can be? What's stopping me from being the greatest speaker that I can be today? What's stopping me from being the most influential life coach that I can be today? What's stopping me from being the husband that I could be today? Just like you had to ask yourself, what's stopping me from being the soldier that I'm supposed to be today? Every time you strapped on your boots and you went out there to fight, and you knew it wasn't a game to play, whether you was in combat or you was combating your time while you was out there in the field losing your mind. But what's stopping you today? I still keep my back to the wall in public. That's something that I still do too. But I found myself getting a little bit more free depending on where I'm at. And realizing that everybody that's there with me ain't out to get me. They ain't even probably thinking about me. So I had to allow myself to be free and tell myself, it's not a problem until it really approaches me. Because here's the thing that I understood about Iraq when I came back, or while I was there. People ask you, what was it like being in war? And I'm like, I really don't know how to explain that, because it wasn't like you went to the front line and then you went back. You went back to the rear to take a break. It's like, no, every day you went out in sector, you just never knew. Today could be the day, or you could be riding around bored too. But those times that it did happen, that was the war, because it tested you. Are you prepared to do what you came here to do? So for me, not only did I fight wars in Iraq, the real war is fighting when you got home, when you got back. Because in Iraq, you could react in a different way. But here at home, you have to use your words. You have to choose what you say. And you have to watch the people that you say it to, because these people may really care about you, or these people may really have an effect on your life that's going to do something to help you or affect you or hurt you emotionally. So I had to think about those things and start to set myself free. Like, man, the scars on the mind of war that can do to you, or the things that they say that they could diagnose you with that could cripple you too, it can really halt you and stop you from growing to what you called to be. I have to remind myself that I was Ethan before the army, and I'm going to be Ethan after the army. So as long as God is breathing in my body, then it's something for me to do, and that the army may not have to have called for me to. Well, my time is up for that, so I have to let my time be up for that part of my life too. So today, I want you to say, whatever the diagnosis is that used to cripple me, I'm going today to begin to set myself free by how? Writing a new prescription for me. Writing and talking about the joy that I see, the joy and the love that I feel. Getting myself with my God, my loved ones, and learning how to keep it real, because it's not fake it till you make it, it's be real to heal. Because when you really want to heal, then you got to be real, and it's going to hurt, but it's going to bless you too. So don't fake it till you make it. Be real to heal, because your family and their loved ones, they need you. And that's what I had to do. So I had to re-diagnose myself too, because the PTSD is not the leading candidate for me. It's me. We set our minds free. Ooh, wee. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I see y'all still with me. I thank you. I thank you for staying with me. I know you're like, man, where's Whiskey Charlie at? Bring the funny back. Nope, you just got me, Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, Mr. Jet Black. Hey, now let's go to my next question. More like a statement. And I want to simply say this: you never know who's watching you and what they need or what you provide. You never know who's watching you or what they need or what you provide. Every now and again, Whiskey Charlie and myself, definitely me, I see him. I get some messages in my inbox about something that was said on Speak Grunt, an individual who's looking for some assistance, a individual who may just have a question, an individual who may want to reach out and talk to you on a more deeper level, on an intimate level. You never know who's watching you because you can only see what Facebook is showing you. It's only two people in my view. Just because nobody is on when you live don't mean they don't see you. Just because nobody is on when you live don't mean they don't see you. But I know who do see you, and that's the God in you. That's the energy in you. That's the Buddha, the Allah, the universe for you too. But for me, it's simply the God in me. But you never know who's watching you. You never know. So I had somebody reach out to me and say, hey, I want to get in touch with you. I want to spend some time and just meet up with you too and have some conversations with you. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's something we can do, because you think you're just on here and you're talking on a platform and you're hoping to bless someone too. You're hoping the stuff that you say is coming off in the right way, but you never know who's watching you till they reach out and they have something to say. So why am I saying all this to you? Keep doing what you know you're called to do. Keep doing what you know you are called to do, because someone is watching you, someone is blessed by what you do, and eventually that person may come speak up to you too and say, yo, how do you do what you do? Can you help me find something in me? Can you help me to go in a better direction for me? Can you show me a different way? I like what you had to say. Can you tell me how you did that again? We all need assistance in this thing called life if we expect to win. But if you think that nobody's watching what you do, then this race in life, you probably already lost that too. Because we're here to connect with other people and to help one another get through. But that all starts based on what you allow yourself to do for you. Because if you don't help you, it's difficult to help anybody else get through. And then you know what you do? You be a hypocritical you. I tell you to show up, to blow up, and to uplift yourself, but I don't uplift myself or take myself off the shelf. Nobody wants to deal with a hypocrite. So don't be yet. Just know that somebody's always watching what you do. Somebody's influenced by what you do. Because check this out. You at a point in time in your life, maybe even right now, you watching somebody too. That's the statement that I'm going to leave for you. Who are you watching today? That's the question. And if I was watching you, or if someone was watching you, would they be blessed by something they seen you do or heard you say? Ooh, the Watchers is out today. The Watchers is out today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Whiskey Charlie, you watching out there? Man, I tell you what, if you haven't done it in a while, I recommend drinking cold water out of a glass bottle. It is definitely a totally different taste than drinking out the plastic today. Hey, I'm getting kind of bougie in that way, and I think I said this like a week or two ago when it was just me. But man, there's something about drinking ice cold water out of cold glass bottle, G. There's another thing, that plastic, they tell you it's the best thing for you, but we don't know what those chemicals gonna do to our body. And maybe I won't be around to see and I'll leave this life in a comfortable way one day. I don't know, but since I know, I'm looking to do a little bit different in this flow. Hey, what's up for question number 3? Two-part question. How long have you been out of the military? And how have you grown or have you fell behind? How long have you been out of the military, disassociated, ETS, honorable discharge, general discharge, other than honorable discharge, dishonorable discharge, not in charge of you no more, you are out the door? How long have you been out of the military? How have you grown or how have you fell behind? How have you grown or how have you fell behind? Let's see. It's been about this year, 2021, made 5 years for me since I've been free from the military. How has it grown me? How have I grown since I left the military? I truly discovered me. What I wanted to do for me, it gave me a boldness that I used to see, but it definitely made it more boldness to define me, to step up for me. So it's grown me into believe more in me, not be narcissistic, but to believe in me and to really show me that it's nothing that I'm not able to do. Anything that I put my mind of, I'm capable of able to do. So I'm able to execute. So it's grown me in a more assurance way. If I'm okay to do what I'm called to do. How have I fell behind since I've left the military? I think for me, it's been my physical health, G, that's been up and down on a roller coaster. Oh, I'm still slim fit, as you can see, but I think my health is something that I need to step back up for my greatest wealth and get back on top of not just my rucking, but my push-ups and sit-ups too. So those would be some ways that how long I've been out and how I've grown and maybe how I fell behind. But the real thing for me is that I continue to strengthen my mind every day. And what the military showed me was there's always still room to grow, and you never know everything that you think you know. What we got down here, Gunter, Dags, and so many others since we came home. Hey, Sean, thank you for reporting in, my friend. Gunter, Dags, and so many others since we came home. Yes, it has been way too many since we have um it has been way too many since we have came home. And I have to be honest and say I don't have an actual count today, but I know it's been way too many since we came home. I was talking about shilling earlier today and just thinking about that. But here's what I do know. If we continue to stay at home and be on home base and expressing what we feel and what we need to say to help our brothers and sisters in arms out in some way, we gonna make a change today, even if we don't see it right away. So if we stay on home base and we stand firm on what we believe or what we need to do, be real to heal, we gonna bring some brothers and sisters home today, because it's been way too many since we got home, either by tragic accident or the ones that we think we could have prevented, such as the suicides. We're gonna have to find a way. Let's see. I keep trying to reach out to soldiers, but they keep killing themselves. Sean said, let's fucking grow. Absolutely, we growing. I keep trying to reach out to soldiers, but they keep killing themselves. Yes. And that is the sad truth. You can only do what you feel like you are called to do. The rest, unfortunately, is for that soldier to reach out to us too. That's the reason why it's called a battle buddy team. And if we not mind readers, we just not. If we need help, we have to speak up. We have to want to help ourselves. And I get it. I've been down that road where I thought about suicide, so I ain't throwing no shade to nobody. But I get it. When you going through those times, you feel like you all alone and you by yourself, and what other people gonna think about you. But as a survivor, we have to give ourselves a little credit too. We have to pick ourselves up and dust ourselves off too. That's a lot to carry on you, and that's a lot to go through. But you have to know, okay, I've done my part, and God, the rest is up to you. Have done my part, God, and the rest is up to you. If nobody is ever moved by what me and Whiskey Charlie do on this show or what they read in the comments down below, that is not a responsibility I can take up on me. I stepped up to my responsibility when I started to do the show and share these things and set myself free. So for the guys or the ladies that have chosen to take their life after you reached out, you've done so much to help their wrongs become right. Here's my ploy to you. Here's my plea with you. Don't give up your life, because what you doing it right. Don't give up your life, because what you doing it right. You just don't have the might, the strength, nor the power to control anybody else's mind. But just know that in due time, God gonna reveal to you why he put you through what he put you through. Thank you, sir. Yes, you're so inspirational, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate it. I'm just using what God has given me, man. I have to be honest with you. I'm like nobody else. I wouldn't be sitting here today if it wasn't something that he gave to me. But here's the thing that I understand he gives to me. I got to give something back to him too. Like, we have to accept being, inspirational. We have to accept being angry. We have to accept being happy. We have to decide which way we want to be. And it's ain't easy for me. It's not easy, but I continue to step up to the plate and do what I'm called to do, because I know it's people out here that's listening to me too. And we affect people's life in some way. So it's not our responsibility to play the victim today or no day. Like, especially as a soldier, we stepped up and we decided to take the fight any way it came. So, when we come home from the army, we have to figure out how to do that in life too, because being in the army, things are laid out for you. And with God, everything not laid out. He gives you free choice to do what you want to do. The army, they more so controlled us and told us what we needed to do. But when you back out here in the civilian world, it's all on you. So we have to get closer to the God in us. We have to get closer to the spiritual high in us. We have to get closer to the greater I am, who won't tell a lie. We have to get closer to the he who is in me is greater than he who is in the world. Because when you get closer to that, then you get closer to you. And when you get closer to you, you realize and recognize there's nothing that there's nothing that I'm not able to do. And then you're able to forgive yourself too, for those things you feel like got away from you, those things that you feel like eluded you, those things that you feel like you should have been able to do but wasn't able to do. When you get closer to God, you realize it ain't on you, it's on him, and he carries the weight that's going to help us get through. So, man, that's really what that's what I'm attempting to do every day. Take what I give to you, what he gives to me, and use it for me too, because that's how we really make it through, brothers. So, I was talking about how long you've been out and how have you grown and how have you not grown. For me, I have a more of a positive outlook on life since I left the military. I have a more of a determination to win, and then I also have, a determination to tell people I ain't doing what you want me to do. I'm going to do it my way, because the military let me go, so I'm free today. So, yeah, that's an interesting thing too. But my next question up for you, and I don't know, it might be my last question too. We'll see. What's your plan for your life over the next year? What is your plan for your life over the next year? And a year could be a very long time. And you can be like, man, I never thought about that. I don't have a year ahead on my mind. I'm just looking to make it through 2021. I'm just looking to make it through this month. I'm just looking to make it through this week. You could just be looking to make it through the rest of the day or an hour. I don't know. But if you had to say, what would you like to do, or what do you see? Where do you expect to be in the next year of your life? You done made it through 2020 and hopefully making it through the rest of 2021. If you had to choose what you do up until the point that breath leaves you, what would you do? Where do you see yourself at in the next year? For me, more Mr. Peen gear, more Mr. Positive in every negative gear, more building my business and my merchandising with my inspirational sayings and quotes, more speaking engagements, and more coaching clients. I plan to have about 10 clients that I'm coaching on a regular basis with what I like to call a motivation, inspiration, transformation. So plan on having about 10 clients that I'm coaching. I plan on having my brand, my apparel launch definitely at the point of t-shirts, jogging suits, and hoodies. And definitely I need a blind, a bow tie fly, but I'm not for sure if I'll do that this year. And then being more on one accord with my wife over the next year, building our friendship, building that relationship, building that open, truly honest communication. So becoming more one with my wife, and then being used by God, or stepping up to be used by God, being more trusting with God over the next year. So it's truly his word that I can hear to steer myself in the right direction as I continue to grow my business with Mr. Peen, from speaking to coaching and to apparel like I was doing before. So this next year for me, God guaranteeing me life and giving me time, definitely free, relax my mind and set it in a different direction to put my business back on track and put it first, because it's something that I need to do. So what do you plan to do for you for the next year? How do you plan on getting closer to your family? How do you plan on shedding some of the scars from your PTSD? How do you plan on getting back in shape, changing the physical appearance that you see? Like, what is in plan for the next year? Is it a book that you want to write? You know what I'm saying? Is it somewhere that you want to go? You want to take your first flight? You don't want to take your last flight. No, 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 not tonight. Forgive me, Lord. I didn't mean that. But no, what do you plan to be? Are you going to be in the same place that you at next year at this time, complaining, worried, stressed all through your mind? Or you're going to be like, man, I remember this time last year, I was sitting there talking about where I was going to be, and I'm exceeding that. Look at me. Success is all around thee. You just have to speak it to existence and believe the unseen. Don't believe what you see, believe the unseen, because it's the unseen that's going to get you where you need to be. All right, Sean, what you got for me? Becoming leading in sales in my area, in my company. Build my team mentally, having another child, and to become a staple in my city. I want to also start feeding homeless on holidays and giving back, because it's not about me. God bless me so I can bless others. That's dope, Sean. That's dope. I would like to say, be the first one to say congratulations. I don't believe in luck, so I'm going to say congratulations and becoming leading in sales in your area of the company, leading in sales in my area, in my company. Yes. Congratulations on being the lead salesman in your region, in your district, and your local, and in your area, and building your team to be the good example that you are by having strong mental leadership. Congratulations on having another child with you and your lovely wife or girlfriend or whoever she may be, or whichever way you may choose to do it. I don't want to be confused by nobody. So congratulations on another child and being a staple in your city and feeding the homeless, man. I know Feeding the homeless is something that I used to enjoy to do, and it's something I need to get back out there and do too. I've done it volunteering with a couple of groups, and I've done it to where I just went in my refrigerator and took what I figured was leftovers from a day or two and cooked up some more food and added it to that. And I wouldn't fed the homeless too, because most of the time I just throw that stuff away. So if it's good for my family, I guess it's good for them that day. But that's pretty dope, man. God is truly gonna continue to bless you when you anytime you're thinking about serving others before serving you, or serving others just as well as you serve you, then that's what we called on to do. So God is going to continue to bless you. So I want to say congratulations on the upcoming wonderful 2022, brother. Congratulations to you. And anybody else out there, man, it may take some time. Like I said earlier, you may not know. You may not have thought about it before. You could just be going on every day, going through life like most people do. Look up 20 years and be like, man, what didn't happen to me? Yeah, this is what happened to you. You never planned to go anywhere else in life. So your life that was, feeling right turned out to be all wrong for you. But here's what you do. You start setting a plan for your life. You start giving God some play by play what you want to do. And I guarantee you, if you praise him, he's going to help you get it right. So set a plan for yourself tonight, even if you just to say next year, I am going to be, happier. I'm going to be 5 pounds lighter. I'm going to have a new position in my job. I'm going to get a 50-cent raise. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to get in better shape. Whatever that may be for you, set down the goal for yourself tonight and watch how next year it come true. But you got to allow God to use you. Let me see. That's it. Y'all done in the chat? Y'all through? Let me know what you got, because I'm going to be leaving you. It's almost 2100, so you know what that do. I'm going to have to get off, and I'm going to have to leave you, and I'm going to have to go relax with my wife too, because that's what I'm called to do. I got to go chill out with my boo. I just had a few questions for you, something to give you to think about, to roll over into the next year too, roll over to the next week too. On Whiskey Charlie Gone, I be counting on you. I have to drop down in the chat, see what I need to say to you, but I could talk forever too. But I just had some questions for you, because sometimes we often talking to you and we're not asking any questions to help you think and figure out how to make some make way through and break ground. Because that's what we had to do, especially when using the Army. Somebody asked you a question often. You started answering questions in basic training. What's your general orders? What's this rank mean? What's that rank mean? Who told you to do this? Why did you do it? And so forth and so on. So I'm asking you to start. Have you allowed your your diagnosis to cripple you? And how have you changed your diagnosis? What are you saying about you to change you that's going to grow you? You never know who's watching you and what they might need. Somebody's always watching you. You're always influencing somebody too. Whether you see them, somebody sees you. So know that you're always, just like you're watching somebody to see what they do, somebody watching you too. So be aware of what you do, because somebody watching you. How long have you been out? Think about how long you've been out the military, or if you're still in the military, think about when you're getting out and how your life has improved, or what you're going to do to improve it, or how your life has improved, or what you may need to do to improve it. How do you build on what you've already improved? Or if your life is feeling a little worse, how do you at least get back up on track? How do you get back on track to attack that thing called life that's been getting the best of you sometimes? And then what's your plan? What's your plan for the next year? What do you want to be? What do you want to do? What would you like to have? Who would you like to have be a part of you? With your relationship you need to rebuild, you need to heal? Is it somebody you need to apologize to? Something you need to forgive yourself of too? Where do you want to be in the next year? And it's holiday time, and a lot of times we think about the people that we lost. They come across our mind. So my question for you is, how do you free and relax your mind during this holiday time? When you think about the loved ones you lost that cross your mind, how do you do that in a positive way, to where you turn out you still can be okay? I ain't saying if you drink that you shouldn't drink. What I'm saying is, don't let the drink you. Don't let the drink have you so gone that you don't know what you're going to do. I've been there too. But figure out what you're going to do during this holiday time to free and relax your mind, massage your mind, and help you get through when you think about the ones that you lost that was close to you. So those are just some questions for you and a few things to do. Make sure you keep an eye on you because somebody else is watching you. Believe in yourself and everything that you want to do. Set yourself free and celebrate the God in you and me because it's something that you called to do. Somebody watching you, you got to put a new diagnosis on you because you're not crippled. You whole, you human, you blessed to be great too. That's it. I'm done. I'm through for you. I'm going to sit back and see if somebody say something in the chat to me before I break contact, G. Get some water. I'm a little parched, as you can see. Thank you, Sean. I salute you too, my brother, and you have a blessed holiday as well. I don't know if we'll be back next Thursday on Thanksgiving, so stay tuned. Tune in to the Grunt Speak page or the Grunt Speak group, and if you're not on that, go jump on YouTube too. But make sure you go to Facebook and follow the Grunt Speak group and the Grunt Speak page. And we will let you know what we're doing for Turkey Day. We might come on a day early. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. That's what we're looking to do. Encourage, motivate you, and help you do what you need to do to transform you. Take your life to the next level of you so everybody around you can see the blessings too. If I don't see y'all next week, happy Turkey Day, but I'm going to get with Whiskey Charlie. See what he have to say because we might have time that day to break away from our family for a little bit, to give something to our military family and see how they feel on that day. But, yep, Sean, Chris, McGinnis, Whiskey Charlie, and anybody else name that I didn't see, I want to say thank you for joining me. I want to say thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it, my friend. It's been a pleasure. It's been real. Now, it's time for me to go get with my wife, sit back a little bit, relax, and chill. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. It has been Grunt Speak. Speak Grunt by Grunts for Grunts. Everybody is welcome, but everybody cannot and will not be a member. 11B, 11 Charlie, or 11 Alpha for my officer infantry in blue. 0311 Marine Corps, you know what it do. You show up and you show out too. And for any of my grunt brothers out there who MOS don't know, I salute you too and thank you for the support staff crew. That's the docs, the medics, the transportation, the water purification, the food handlers, the cooks, the musicians, and all them people that work with the True Blue. That's it for real. I'm done. I'm through. Yes, sir. Please do. Bless. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace. We out.